When I first retired at 67, I thought life would slow down. I imagined lazy mornings with a hot cup of coffee, maybe a little gardening, and finally having time to read all those books piling up on my shelf. What I didn't expect was the cold reality of living on a fixed income. Suddenly, my pension and Social Security had to stretch further than I thought. And let me tell you, those first few years taught me a lot about money. Lessons I wish someone had shared with me sooner. So today, from one senior to another, I want to tell you my story and share the budgeting tips that helped me not only get by, but actually feel financially secure again. It all started after I wrapped up a 35-year career as a mail carrier. The day I turned in my badge, I felt proud. But that first month after retirement, when I saw just how small my monthly income looked compared to the bills, well, that was a wake-up call. I knew I had to make changes, and fast. The first thing I did, and I recommend you do too, was sit down and write out every expense. I mean everything. I wrote down my rent, groceries, electricity, even the little things like my subscription to the paper and my once-a-week lunch out with the fellas. When it was all on paper, I could see where the money was going, and more importantly, where I could cut back. One of my biggest surprises? How much I was spending on eating out. You wouldn't think a couple of drive-through meals and a diner visit each week would add up, but they really do. So, I started cooking more at home. I even pulled out some of my old recipes from when the kids were little. Not only did I save money, but I started eating better, too. Healthier meals on a budget. Now that's a win-win. Another thing that helped a lot was switching to generic brands. I used to be brand loyal. If it wasn't a name I knew, I didn't want it. But let me tell you, today's store brands are pretty darn good. I tested a few to make sure I liked them, and once I found ones I did, I never looked back. I easily saved $30 to $50 a month just doing that. I also learned about senior discounts. I used to be embarrassed to ask, but now I ask everywhere I go. Pharmacies, grocery stores, even my local hardware shop, they all have senior perks if you just speak up. One of my friends actually keeps a list in his wallet of the stores that offer them. Smart man. Let's talk about energy bills, because I know a lot of us struggle with that. I didn't realize how much electricity my old appliances were sucking up. So I applied for a local energy saving program. They replaced my old fridge and even weatherproofed my windows, for free. If you haven't checked into those programs in your area, you absolutely should. They can make a big difference. Now, here's something that took a little humility: downsizing. A couple years into retirement, I realized my house was too big. The kids were grown and gone, and I didn't need 3 bedrooms and a big backyard anymore. I found a cozy 1-bedroom apartment not too far from where I used to live. It was hard to let go of the house, but I cut my housing costs in half and gained peace of mind. No more big maintenance bills, and I actually feel safer with neighbors closer by. One of the most helpful tools I've used is a simple budget spreadsheet. I update it every month. I track what comes in and what goes out, and I set small goals. Maybe it's saving $50 this month, or using coupons to shave down my grocery bill. The key is to stay aware and in control. The moment you stop paying attention, those small expenses creep back in. And you know what else helped me? Talking about money. A lot of us grew up thinking finances were private, even taboo. But talking to other seniors, to family members I trust, and even meeting with a local credit counselor really opened my eyes. There are resources out there. Don't be afraid to use them. Finally, I want to say this: living on a fixed income doesn't mean giving up joy. I still take walks in the park. I still visit with my grandkids, bake cookies, and watch the ball game on Sunday afternoons. Budgeting isn't about living less, it's about living smarter. It's about knowing what really matters and making sure there's room for that in your life. So if you're just starting retirement, or maybe you've been at it a while but still feel like the money's tight, I hope these tips help. They come from experience, from mistakes and little victories. We've all earned the right to enjoy our golden years, and with a little planning, I truly believe we can. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. If this helped you, pass it along to a friend who might need it too. And remember, being smart with money doesn't mean being cheap. It means being free. Take care, and keep living well.